Hey there fellow coin enthusiasts, welcome back to our channel. The value of 1-cent coins. Pennies can vary based on factors like condition, rarity, and whether they have any unique features such as errors or variations. Here's a general overview of the years you mentioned. 1983. Most 1983. Pennies are common and made of copper-plated zinc, so their value is typically around 1 cent. However, there are some varieties, such as the 1983 double die, which can be worth more to collectors. 1985. Similar to the 1983 penny, these are common and generally worth about 1 cent unless in uncirculated condition or possessing unique features. 1986. Typically worth about 1 cent. Again, uncirculated examples, or those with special features, may fetch a higher price. 1992. Commonly valued at about 1 cent. Some specific varieties from this year, like the 1990 to close AM, can be worth more. 2021. These are modern pennies and generally worth 1 cent. Rarely, errors or other unique characteristics might make a specific coin worth more for specific valuations, especially for coins in better condition or those with unique features. It is advisable to check with a coin dealer or consult a price guide. Additionally, the market for coins can fluctuate, so values may change over time. Every year when the new penny is released, people go to the bank, get rolls, and resell them for a lot more than their face value. So here on eBay, as we can see, this is for rolls of 2021 no mint mark Philadelphia minted Lincoln cents, so this is only $2 worth of pennies that you can get from the bank. You can go to the bank, hopefully find these rules. Now sometimes you'll get a box of pennies from the bank and there'll be all kinds of different dates. It all just comes down to luck if they give you brand new pennies. 2021 pennies, sometimes they're very hard to find, and that's why people go online and buy them for a lot more than their face value. So in this case, this seller has sold 3 of these 4 rolls. 3 times. This individual sold them for $60, turning $2 into $60 and open rolls of 2021 pennies. Just an incredible profit there for that individual. Now in terms of boxes, like I said, you can go to the bank, ask for a box of pennies. Maybe you'll get lucky and get a whole box of 2021 pennies. In this case, this individual did a whole box, cost you $25. That's it, 25 bucks. Now they're very heavy, so it's going to cost a lot for shipping. So if you get these pennies and sell them, you got to take that into consideration, charge for shipping. But this box did have to bids on it, and it sold for over $202,200 for $25, and they even charged $18.50 for shipping. So they got $221 altogether for $25 worth of pennies from the bank. Such a simple thing to do, just go to the bank. See, you can't ask for 2021 pennies because they're not gonna go through rolls and look for them for you. They're just gonna give you whatever they have. So sometimes it's worth a chance to go to the bank and see if you can get some. Now this is a roll of 2021 mint mark Lincoln cents. So this is only 1 roll of pennies. Oh wait, 2 rolls of pennies to 2021 penny rolls in hand. All right, so these are the dement market looks like. From the image, 2 of them sold for 56 bucks, so not bad at all. You're selling $1 worth of pennies for 56 bucks, and they even charge for $1.50 for shipping. So $60.50 for $1. That's just incredible. So will these hold the value? Probably not. This always happens at the beginning of the year when these coins are being released, so just take that into consideration. Super short video today, but I just want to show you guys that yes, you can go to the bank, possibly get rolls of these coins and resell them for much more money. All you have to do is go to. Today we're going to take a look at the 1983 Lincoln $0 01 coins from the United States of dollars, and we can just see these some kind of typical ones here. We say this one says, "In God we trust," at the top, liberty behind Lincoln. Right here we see there's the date, and down here we see the mint mark, or the D for Denver. One of the things that's really interesting about 1983 is that they had all kinds of stuff going on, not just with the pennies, but with other Coins in 1983, they had just changed over from the copper-based coins with a little zinc in them to the zinc-based coins with a little copper over them. So let's take a look at that first, and that's kind of an interesting idea in 1982. They switched over from the copper base to the zinc base before 1982. This is how much a penny weighed, 3.1 grams. So that's a 1981. 95% copper, 5% zinc. In 1982, they switched over to a zinc-based coin, but they did it in the middle of the year, so you see this is the 1982. Remember that the coins before mid-1982 were all 3.1 or 3.11 grams. Let's see how much this 1982 is. Let's see how much this 1982 is. 2.51. The zinc-based coins are much less weight, so 1982. They switched over, and that carried on until through 1983. And here's a 1983D. And what's that? 2.55. So 2.5 something. Most of these coins are going to be, so they changed the basis of the coin. They did another thing, and that is that they in 1983. The mint did not produce any special uncirculated sets for 1983. So for 1982 and 1983, no uncirculated coin sets from Philadelphia or Denver. They did, however, produce the uncirculated sets from San Francisco, which we call the proof sets because they have a different finish on them. So this is one down here on the right, way down on the right, and let's max that out a little bit, and we'll put these two together. So this one down here, you can see that there is an S right there. That's where the San Francisco mint this one too. Now you can tell these are proof set, as I said, because they polish them differently. This kind of satin finish or the special finish on these. However, in 1983, for one of these special finished coins, they forgot to put some S's on for the dimes, and so there's a 1983. No S dimes, so they changed the weight. They forgot to put an S on the dime, one of the dimes in 1983, and so that's incredibly valuable. And they did one other thing, and that is that, well, first let's look at this. This is the 1983 San Francisco mint coin. It's just in great condition. You see how it's polished different on the face of Lincoln then. The background same. In God We Trust Liberty 1983's. You can get these in a kind of a muddy S like this one is, or a really clean S. The clean S's are worth more. You would have to get these from the proof set, however, and then we look right down here and we can see the initials really well. VDB Victor David Brenner, who was the engraver of these coins. We flip then to the back, we see this says United States of America at the top. Pluribus unum. There's Lincoln way down inside the Lincoln Memorial. Then 1 cent at the bottom, and this is where we start to have some interesting things going on, where this 1 cent is right down here. They made the coins at the San Francisco Mint, the one we just saw, they made about 3+ million. At the Denver Mint, which is this D right here, they made 6.5 billion. And at the Philadelphia Mint, which is the no mint mark one here, they made 7.75 billion. So 14 billion coins between the two of these mints, and when that happens, you get these kind of interesting issues, and the biggest interesting issue on the 1983 is the double die obverse. And what happens on the 1983 coin, you can see a little tiny bit of it here, but I think that might be damage rather than the double die. See how this E has a little bit of extra on it, but that's really not. And this E has a little bit extra on it. Maybe there's a little bit extra on the C. This isn't a full double die, and not worth really any money. However, if you look on PCGs, you'll see one that looks like. See this, and let's go down now. You cannot miss this double die. See the doubling here, it actually sticks out over the edge. See this, and what is beautiful, this is a PCGS, which is the coin grading service, has this coin on their site, and look at that. Oh, see the doubling on that. That coin is worth about $7,000 or $8,000, and when looking to buy 1983 US 1 cent coins, Lincoln cents, you'll find them available through various sources, both online and in physical stores. Here's a breakdown of where you can typically find them. A very popular platform for buying and selling coins, including various grades and varieties of 1983 Lincoln cents. You'll find individual coins rolls and even error coins. It's important to check seller ratings and descriptions. Careful online numismatic retailers. Websites of established coin dealers often have inventories of U.S. coins, including those from 1983. These retailers may offer graded and certified coins, which can be valuable for collectors. PCGS Professional Coin Grading Service and NGC Numismatic Guarantee Corporation. These websites offer information about coins, including pricing and rarity, and may have links to dealers. Physical stores, local coin shops. These stores specialize in buying and selling coins and are a great place to find specific coins and get expert advice. Pawn shops. Occasionally, pawn shops may have collections of coins, including older pennies. Flea markets and antique stores. These can be a source for finding older coins, although the condition and authenticity may vary. Key considerations. Condition. The condition of the coin significantly impacts its value. Look for terms like uncirculated boo or proof varieties and errors. Some 1983 Lincoln cents have errors such as double die varieties, which can make them more valuable. Grading and certification. Coins graded by reputable services like PCGS or NGC have been authenticated and assessed for their condition. This can add value and confidence to your purchase when buying coins, especially online. It's crucial too. The U.S. 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, has a long and fascinating history. Here's a summary of its evolution. Origins: 1793. The first official U.S. cent was minted in 1793. It was made of pure copper and was larger than today's penny. Early designs: 1793. 1857 Flowing hair cent. 1793 featured Lady Liberty with flowing hair Liberty cap cent. 1793 to 1796 introduced a Liberty cap behind Lady Liberty draped bust cent. 1796-1807 a more refined image of Liberty classic head cent. 1808. 1814 updated with a simpler Liberty head coronet head. 1816-1857 featured a modified design braided hair. 1839-1857 last large cent before being discontinued. Transition to a smaller penny. 1856-1864 the large cent was too costly to produce, so it was replaced by the Flying Eagle cent. 1856-1858 which was smaller and made of 88% copper and 12% nickel. The Indian head cent. 1859. 1909 followed, made of bronze. Lincoln cent era. 1909 present. In 1909, to honor Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday, the Lincoln wheat cent was introduced, designed by Victor D. Brenner. It featured Lincoln's portrait, the first real person on a U.S. coin. In 1959, he reverse changed to the Lincoln Memorial to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. In 2009, for Lincoln's bicentennial, for special designs were released. In 2010, the current shield reverse was introduced. Metal composition changes. Originally pure copper, but during World War II, 1943 pennies were made of zinc-coated steel. To conserve copper after 1980, pennies were made mostly of zinc with a thin copper coating. Value and collectability: older cents, especially those with rare errors or key dates. 1909s. VDB 1943. Copper cent can be highly valuable. The 1986 1-cent coin, commonly known as the penny, is part of the United States Mint's ongoing production of this denomination. Here's a brief overview of its history and characteristics. Design: the 1986 penny features the traditional obverse design of Abraham Lincoln, which was created by Victor David Brenner and was first issued in 1909. The reverse side of the coin features the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, which has been in use since 1959. Minting information: production year 1986. Mint locations: the penny was minted at multiple facilities, including the Philadelphia Mint Mark and the Denver Mint with AD Mint Mark. Composition: the 1986 penny is made of 95% copper and 5% zinc. as was standard for pennies produced prior to 1982. After 1982, the composition changed to primarily zinc collectability. While the 1986 penny is not considered rare or highly valuable, some specific varieties, such as those in high grades MS67 or higher or certain mint errors, may have more interest to collectors. Market value. For everyday transactions, the 1986 penny holds its face value of 1 cent. However, its numismatic value can vary based on condition, rarity, and demand. Generally, most circulated 1986 pennies would be worth only a few cents, while uncirculated coins may fetch a higher price among collectors. Historical context. The year 1986 was part of a significant period for U.S. coins, as it was during a time when the penny was still made of copper before the major change. In 1982, this coin represents part of the U.S. financial ecosystem and serves as a reminder of the value of small denominations in daily commerce. Storing and caring for coins. If you're interested in storing or preserving a 1986 penny or any other coin, use coin holders or capsules to protect them from physical damage and environmental factors. Keep them in a cool, dry place to prevent corrosion. Avoid cleaning coins, as this can damage their surfaces and reduce their value. Is asking about the 1992 1 cent coin, specifically its full history. Let me start by recalling what I know about U.S. pennies. The Lincoln Memorial cent was in circulation from 1959 to 2008, so 1992 would fall within that period. The composition of pennies changed over the years, but in 1992, they were still made of 97.5% zinc with a copper plating weight. No, actually, wasn't there a change in 1982? Let me double check that. Yes, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from bronze, 95% copper, 5% zinc to zinc, with copper plating to reduce costs. So 1992 pennies are the zinc variety. Now the design, the obverse front has Lincoln's portrait, which has been there since 1909. The reverse back from 1959 to 2008 was the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparo. So the 1990 penny would have the Lincoln Memorial on. The reverse mint marks the 1990 penny could have been minted in Philadelphia. No mint mark Denver D or San Francisco S. The S mint mark is usually for proofs, but I should confirm if there were any circulation. Strikes from San Francisco in 1990 to weight San Francisco mainly. Does proofs, so circulation pennies would be from Philly or Denver mintage numbers. I need to look up the exact mintage figures for 1990 to let me recall. In the early 90s, the mintage was in the billions. For example, 1992 had Philadelphia minting around 6.6 billion, Denver around 7.4 billion. That's a lot, so they're common in circulation errors or varieties. Are there any notable errors for 1990 pennies? Maybe some repunched mint marks or die cracks, but nothing major, like the 1992 close AM variety weight. No, the close AM is actually a 2000s thing. And maybe the 1992D with a repunched D. I should check that. Some sources mention AD over D repunching, but it's not extremely rare collectability since they're so common. Most 1992 pennies aren't valuable unless in pristine condition. A circulated one is worth face value, but uncirculated might be a few cents. The key is the mint mark and condition. The 199 to S proof would be worth a bit more, maybe a couple of dollars. Weight. Also in 1992 there was a special commemorative coin for the Olympics, but that's a dollar coin, not the penny, so no connection there. So putting it all together, the user wants the full history, so I should mention the design, composition, mints, mintage numbers, any varieties or errors in collectible value. Make sure to clarify that while common, certain mint marks or conditions can affect value. Also correct any misconceptions about composition changes. Confirming that 1992 is post-1980 to zinc design and composition. Obverse front features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln unchanged since 1909. Reverse back depicts the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparro, introduced in 1959 to replace the Wheat Ears Desigy Composition 97.5% zinc core with 2.5% copper plating. This composition began in 1980 to prior pennies were 95% copper mints and mintages Philadelphia no mint mark 6,621,584,060 to pennies. Minted most common Denver D mint mark 7 billion for 140 to 1,635,128 pennies. Minted also widely Circulatech San Francisco S mint mark, only produced as proof coins, part of annual proof sets with a mintage of 3,047,700. Key varieties and errors repunched mint marks RPM. Some 1992 D pennies show a doubled or repunched D mint mark, though these are minor varieties and not highly valuable unless in pristine condition. Die cracks or errors. Occasional minor die cracks or off-center strikes exist. 1. Set 1990 to full history profile. Thinking completed. OK, the user is asking about the 1990 to 1 cent coin specifically. Its full history. Let me start by recalling what I know about U.S. pennies. The Lincoln Memorial cent was in circulation from 1959 to 2008. So 1992 would fall within that period. The composition of pennies changed over the years, but in 1992, they were still made of 97.5% zinc with a copper plating weight. No, actually, wasn't there a change in 1982? Let me double check that. Yes, in 1982, the U.S. Mint switched from bronze, 95% copper, 5% zinc to zinc, with copper plating to reduce costs. So 1992 pennies are the zinc variety. Now the design, the obverse front has Lincoln's portrait, which has been there since 1909. The reverse back from 1959 to 2008 was the Lincoln Memorial designed by Frank Gasparro. So the 1990 to penny would have the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Mint marks. The 1990 to penny could have been minted in Philadelphia no mint mark, Denver D or San Francisco S. The S mint mark is usually for proofs, but I should confirm if there were any circulation strikes from San Francisco in 1990 to weight. San Francisco mainly does proofs, so circulation pennies would be from Philly or Denver. Mintage numbers. I need to look up the exact mintage figures for 1990 to let me recall. In the early 90s, the mintage was in the billions. For example, 1992 had Philadelphia minting around 6.6 billion, Denver around 7.4 billion. That's a lot, so they're common in circulation. Errors or varieties. Are there any notable errors for 1990 to pennies? Maybe some repunched mint marks or die cracks, but nothing major like the 1992 close AM variety. Wait, no, the close AM is actually a 2000s thing. It may be the 1992D with a repunched D. I should check that. Some sources mention AD over D repunching, but it's not extremely rare collectability. Since they're so common, most 1992 pennies aren't valuable. Unless in pristine condition, a circulated one is worth face value, but uncirculated might be a few cents. The key is the mint mark and condition. The 1992 S proof would be worth a bit more, maybe a couple of dollars. Weight. Also in 1992, there was a special commemorative coin for the Olympics, but that's a dollar coin, not the penny, so no connection there. So putting it all together, the user wants the full history, so I should mention the design, composition, mints, mintage numbers, any varieties or errors, and collectible value. Make sure to clarify that while common, certain mint marks or conditions can affect value. Also correct any misconceptions about composition changes, confirming that 1992 is post-1982 zinc. The 1992 U.S. 1 cent coin penny is part of the long-running Lincoln Memorial cent series, which was minted from 1959 to 2008. Here's a detailed overview of its history and key details. Design and composition. Obverse front features Victor David Brenner's iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln, unchanged since 1909. Reverse back depicts the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, introduced in 1959 to replace the wheat ears design. Composition 97.5%. Zinc core with 2.5%. Copper plating. This composition began in 1980 to prior pennies were 95% copper mints and mintages. Philadelphia no mint mark. 6,621,584,062. Pennies minted. Most common Denver D mint mark. 7 billion for 140 to 1,635,128. Pennies minted. Also widely circulated San Francisco S mint mark. Only produced as proof coins, part of annual proof sets with a mintage of 3,047,700. Key varieties and errors. Repunched mint marks. Ransom 1992. D pennies show a doubled or repunched D mint mark, though these are minor varieties and not highly valuable unless in pristine condition. Die cracks or errors. Occasional minor die cracks or off-center strikes exist but are generally unremarkable. Collectability and value. Circulated pennies typically worth face value 1 due to high mintage number. Uncirculated pennies. Historical context. The 1992 penny reflects the U.S. Mint's focus on cost efficiency, using zinc instead of copper to reduce production expenses. No major commemorative designs were tied to the 1990 penny, though the Lincoln Memorial reverse honored Lincoln's legacy. This video is about 1985 pennies and their value and error. Coins worth money in 1985. The U.S. Mint struck over 5.6 for 8 billion cents in the Philadelphia Mint and over 5.87 billion in the Denver Mint because of the large mintages. These coins are easily obtainable in circulation and their prices reflect that. For example, the 1985 penny struck in the Philadelphia Mint graded Ms. 65 is worth only about $5. The 1985 D struck in Denver Mint in the same condition Ms. 65 is worth about $2. So to get higher prices for this coin you need to go to higher grades like MS 68 and up. And in that high grade they're very difficult to find, especially from the Phillips. This coin you see in the picture is a 1985 penny struck in Philadelphia Mint and graded MS 68+. It's sold at Heritage Auction in April of 2017, which was the last sale of this coin in that grade, for a very nice price of $5,875. The 1985 D penny in grade MS 69 sold at the Legend Rear Auction in May of 2018 for $2,702.50. As we said, they're easy to find in that high condition. Obviously, you won't find them in circulation. Mint sets or rolls are going to be your best option. There's lots of searching to find nice examples like that, but they do exist. And if you want to spend some time looking for them, you can find them. As for proof coins in 1985, the Mint produced over 3,362,000 proof coins in the San Francisco Mint. Unlike coins from the P and D mints, they are in higher graded condition, and that, of course, has an impact on their value. Proof 66 are worth about $6 in proof 68. We're up to $13. And then in the highest grade, proof 70, the coin you see in this picture. It sold at Heritage this year for $180. And now let's look at some very interesting errors on the 85 pennies. The first coin you see in this picture is a 1985 struck on a 1985 dime. It sold for $977.50. How cool is that? An 11-cent coin. Next is the same error, a different grade. An 85 struck on a dime, which sold for $747.50. The next one is a 1985 fold-over strike. It sold at Heritage Auctions for $690. It's really cool error. This next one is very interesting too. It's a 1985 D. Struck on an unplated planchet, and it's sold at Heritage Auctions for $218.50. And the last coin we have to show you is a 1985. Double struck. This one is 75%, and it's sold at Heritage Auctions for $94. So many possibilities for this very common newer penny, the 1985. D penny also has an RPM or D over D, but there are no current sales. Nevertheless, don't forget about that too when checking your change. So don't assume it's worth only a penny. Look at them closely, they can bring a nice profit. And now you know what to look for, so we hope. Thanks for watching my videos, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon.